Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience and to our Advent Spiral, our Advent series. We welcome you today. We have Carol Manson with us, and Lori. And what can I say? Oh, hey. Let's sing.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Your soul is welcome. Your soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome
Good morning, SLC, and good morning, Reverend Paul.
Good morning.
I have happy feet for several reasons. One of them is that Peg's daughter, Sophia, and her grandson, Avery, are here. Please stand. Oh, come on. This on. The other is that this is many of you know I took a spill on Halloween, and this is my first Sunday without crutches, without a cane, and nothing up this sleeve, nothing up that sleeve. Drum roll, please. Don't do this at home, boys and girls. Ta-da! I intend to be getting off this stage very quickly because, metaphysically and theologically, I believe your direct connection is with God and not through a priest, a rabbi, a minister, an AI chatbot, an FM disc jockey, Wi-Fi connection. And so we ministers should be sometimes seen and sometimes heard, but not all the time.
Absolutely. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to be seen. And good to see all you, SLC. Good morning. It's still morning. And we greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy. And in the warm and loving energy of our community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know there is no spot that God is not. All right. If this is your first time joining us online or in person, we especially welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. We are all here by
Divine appointment.
All right. This is the robust session. All right. And we are so glad you kept that appointment. So glad. And we are also glad, very pleased, when you silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography during the service.
And we come to the first Sunday of Advent where the first candle is lit, and it's for hope and faith. Hope and faith are the daily words. You know, it's interesting. My physical therapist, I see him twice a week. He beats me up twice a week. But throughout the place, I mean, are things on the wall which, I mean, are pure new thought. I mean, you walk into the gym and it says, without hope, there's no health. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So hope and faith. And the affirmation is, I walk by faith and live each day with hope in my heart. As Advent begins, I center myself in hope and feel my faith grow strong. I marvel at Mary's faith as I think about the mental, emotional, and physical and spiritual aspects of her journey to Bethlehem, to have her child. She must have felt frightened to hear what the angel had told her, but faith allowed her to take each step with peace. Like Mary, I may wonder why I am facing certain events, and like Mary, I live in faith. When I have doubt or uncertainty, no matter what is going on in my life, my faith in the power of spiritual living gives me renewed hope that God is with me. I am reassured that along every journey, no matter how long, the highest good is unfolding. And from the 62nd Psalm, we sing, for God alone my soul waits in silence, for my hope is from him. Dear Spirit, thank you for this Advent season. Help us, despite to-do lists a mile long and for the busyness and everything, help us to remember the real reason for this season. Thank you for SLC, for this wonderful spiritual community on a metaphysical hill. Thank you for this powerful message, not just for Sacramento, but for the world beyond. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. We say our mission statement because these are words that are a reminder of who we have come here to be. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we also say these unity principles, which quite frankly can help us a lot of times when we do hit those potholes in life. And they are, God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God, and we must take action. And so, Reverend Paul, new?
Well, we do have some action.
There we go.
It's coming Wednesday. It's our Oneness Prayer Circle. And in that Oneness Prayer Circle, I believe we forgot to mention that it's a new month. And I'm not sure if we're having cake or not, but show up. Maybe there'll be cake, maybe not. So I usually show up for the community meal. But the prayer circle is really, it really impresses me a lot. I've been to several of these, and it's a good place to commune and just sit still with your prayer or let someone else pray with you and just be in that beautiful energy. So hope to see you there. Community Action Team. We have Pam. All right. With the coming up to...
Here she comes.
Good morning. Good morning, spiritual family. The CAT, the CAT committee, the Community Action Team, is continuing to provide activities that we can show up in the community with our gifts. And so there's two things still going on. One is the food collection, and I don't know when that will end. You know, the need is there, so there's a red big bucket by the entrance to the office, and you can just drop your things off there. And we're asking for canned goods and anything that's non-perishable for that. And then this month's big deal is the Christmas gifts for the foster children. So I know there are a lot of Christmas trees around, but there's one that's near the hub, and it has gift cards on it. And if you'd like to think about giving a gift to a foster child, come and look for one that speaks to you, the names and ages, and the gifts that they would like you to consider are on there. So anyway, that's what we're doing now, and I hope to see you there.
Thank you, Pam. And I say thank you for our community action team. If you look at the survey results which just came out, food insecurity in the last 4 years has gone up from 10% of the population to 14%. If you look at the percentage with families with kids, elderly, and also people who have served in the armed forces, it's much higher than that. Unfortunately, the Agriculture Department has stopped. This will be the last year that we have any data because they're getting rid of the problem of hunger is not gone, but we're getting rid of the survey anyway. But so doing things like supporting that bringing stuff in for that red bucket of dry food and stuff like that is really, honestly, truly so important. And thank you to our community action team. On Friday night, 7 p.m., it is going to be a movie night again. Joyeux, give me the correct.
Joyeux Noël.
Yeah, there we go. My French teacher over there. It's a wonderful movie and a true story. There was an armistice during World War I, a one-day armistice around Christmas, then went back to the fighting and killing. But it's an incredible movie. It will be Friday, December 5th, 7 p.m. right here. There's going to be candy and stuff sold by YOU. It will go to Youth and Family Ministries. So please come. It will be a wonderful, wonderful time. We're also going to have a great class which is being taught by a Science of Mind teacher. And the interesting thing, it's based on the book called The Hidden Power of the Bible by Ernest Holmes, founder of Centers for Spiritual Living. Ernest Holmes has meant an awful lot to me. I mean, his writings I find incredible. But his work, his writings are coming to Unity Village and are going to be archived right along with Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. I think that linkage is so important. This class is going to be taught by, I met her this week, an incredible teacher, Dr. Mary Bell from Science of Mind. It's going to be based, as I say, on Ernest Holmes' book, The Hidden Power of the Bible. It's Wednesdays from 1 to 3 p.m., begins January 14th, continues until the book is completed. Classes will close, as it were, who comes after the second week, which is January 21st. So I think an incredible class. If you can make it, please come, and I think you'll be glad that you did.
Coming up very soon, I believe it's December 10th. I could be wrong. 7 o'clock. My other glasses. At 7 o'clock is our Advent spiral. It's a great experience. So come show up for the experience the Advent season with this beautifully sacred ceremony for the entire community, both young and old, and in between. This garden spiral portrays the four kingdoms of earth: mineral, plant, animal, and human, waking to the coming of the inner light. And Reverend Rick will talk a little bit more about that light. This will be accompanied by soft music and singing. All are invited to journey to the center with a candle where we meet this light, then carry our own unique flame back out into the world. Linger a while and witness the ever-expanding light radiate outwards.
And on next Sunday, December 7th, from 1:15 after this service, there's going to be a community meeting. Please come. We're going to be talking about the draft of the strategic plan. Nothing has been set in stone. Your your comments, your suggestions are really important. So please come. If that were not enough, hot diggity, dog diggity, the men of spirit are going to be having a hot dog meal, and the proceeds are going to go to youth and family ministry. So hot diggity, dog diggity, come dig the strategic plan.
Yummy. If we have veggie dogs, I may show
Yeah,
up.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. I'm lobbying for veggie dogs too. Make everyone happy. All are welcome. So come for that. Also come for candlelight service. There will be just one on Sunday, December 21st at 10:45. We will have caroling as well. On Christmas Eve at 5:45. Oh, I have 5 here. Okay, 4:45, typo. More caroling. So show up for these 2 events, which is really good for the holidays.
And I want to stress again, on December 21st, there'll be one service because it's the candlelight service. And then also on December 7th, it is the Sacramento International Marathon. It's rolling traffic blocks and everything else like that. Go online to find. I mean, we're coming from Elk Grove, and I've already been tutored by people who in the know about what street, different roads to take. So you can make it here, but you follow, because you don't want to be blocked off by the marathon. Let me also say, we're trying to keep the announcements as short as possible. However, a lot of churches, essentially their calendars are Sunday, and maybe they have something Wednesday. This place has something going on almost every day of the week, which truly can help you on your spiritual walk. And I think that's incredible and something we really should be proud of.
Yeah, this church rocks. Also, remember, there are many things that foster transformation in our lives. One of them is prayer. It's a great opportunity for transformation. Our prayer chaplains are available to pray with you in the courtyard. You can identify them by the white stoles that they wear. You can pray for whatever you need to pray for, or even celebration is appropriate. You can also check out our weekly small groups and other offerings. You may peruse the bulletin board in the courtyard, go to the hub, and sign up for an event for all the happenings. They're also, you can see them on on SLC on our website.
On a serious note, on Friday, this last Friday, I received from Reverend Deborah Phillips, our associate minister, her letter of resignation, effective for this Sunday. Now, let me put this in context, and I think this can be a win-win situation for both Reverend Deborah and also for SLC. Last December, way before you even started the ministerial search, before I had my first conversation with with Josie, who was then your president, Deborah had submitted a letter of resignation to Reverend James Trapp. She felt that what she wanted to do at SLC was done, and she wanted to start doing coaching and spiritual counseling, and that's what she wanted to do. James said to her, and I think very wisely said to her, look, we're going through a transition. Stay for the transition. Help the transition become a positive thing. And so for the last year, Reverend Deborah, in essence, has put her dreams on hold, and I think has taken, as it were, one for the team and done a tremendous. Our numbers and many other things are going in the right direction, and I say that a lot of that is from the wisdom and guidance that we've gotten from Reverend Deborah, and I thank her. I've enjoyed working with her. As a matter of fact, Reverend Janae, president of the board, Daniel, vice president, and myself, we had urged her, take December off, and then after December, come back and make a decision that way. And she then said, no, I've really made and it's time. And it is much more honest for me to say that now than to wait to January. However, she has said to me and to others, I'm here for, I support SLC, I love SLC. For example, we have something called the LOS, which is the long order of the service, which she has been responsible for keeping up and everything. Deborah has said, I now am a volunteer at SLC, and I will continue doing this at least for the month of December. So Deborah, in many ways, is still putting sweat equity into this congregation, and we're very grateful. And she said to me, if you want my suggestions anytime, just please call. But I think, we have to honor her that it's time she feels to move on to her next chapter in life, which is coaching and spiritual counseling. I think this can be a win-win situation for where we've been talking about reorganization around here, and I think this is, as it were, part of the process. There is a desk outside with cards. Please, if you want to write a card to Deborah, please do that. I'd like to say a prayer. I mean, she's not here physically. Who knows if she's watching, but Spirit does move. Let's say that wonderful SLC blessing. Reverend Deborah, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold God's love as you. And we truly do. And I do believe this will be both a win-win situation, both for Reverend Deborah and, as it were, also for SLC. And so thankful for all that she has done to make this a successful transition. Now, we come here for many reasons, for connection, and let us take a moment to greet each other in a way which we feel most comfortable.
So grateful, I am one in the spirit.
be seated. Now as we settle into our chairs, take a nice deep breath together. Drop into those beautiful heart spaces. And let's speak out loud together our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And let's sing this beautiful chant. God is here, God is now.
God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the life within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know all is perfect and right in my world. God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the life within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know all is perfect and right in my world. God is here, God is now, God is all. God is the life within my heart. So I see and I feel and I know all is perfect and right. All is perfect and right. All is perfect and right in my world.
All is perfect. All is right. Breathe those words in and out. All is perfect. All is right. I invite you to get comfortable. Close your eyes if you choose. And with every breath, notice how your breath is filling your lungs and is gently releasing through the nose. Breathing in, aware of the in-breath. Breathing out, aware of the out-breath. Breathe in, all is perfect. Breathe out, all is right. Consciously slowing the breath with each cycle. In and out. No need to think, no need to reason. Simply focus on the breath and be. Be still. Sense what your body is telling you. Listen to it. Trust your intuition, your inner guidance. It is when we choose to listen to our inner guidance that all of our being rejoices. We become full, luminous, emitting a light of a most divine brilliance. Breathe in and breathe out. It is time to meet the voice from within, the inner light. It's time to listen to all it wishes to say. With each breath, go inside and find that soft and sweet voice. Feel how it lights up when it is recognized. Your breath is alive. It is luminous. It is light filling every cell of your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. All is perfect. All is right in the silence. Gently, very gently, return your awareness to the present moment, but remain in the awareness of your inner guidance. Open your eyes when you're ready. 1 Kings 19:11 says that God is not in the wind, earthquake, or fire, but in a still, small voice. This described how our guidance can be subtle rather than dramatic, intuitive rather than intellectual, requiring silence and inner listening to be perceived. When you follow that star, that internal guide, that still small voice, we become aware of our connection to God and our own divinity. When we trust what it says, we have an inner conviction of whatever we undertake calls forth the very best in us. Jiminy Cricket from Disney's Pinocchio says, "A conscience is that still small voice that people won't listen to." Listen to it. Trust that intuition. May all your dreams come true, and may we have the courage to pursue them. And so it is.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, and to run where the brave dare not go, and to right the unrighted unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, and to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march in hell for heavenly cause. And I know if I only be true to that glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this. That one scorned and covered with scars, still strove with a last ounce of courage to dream the impossible dream, and to dream, trying to reach the unreachable
Thank you, Carol. Wow. You know, it's been my good fortune. I mean, on my trial weekend, it was Carol, and you were singing The Impossible Dream. Thank you, wonderful music team.
Clear day.
Yeah?
On a clear day.
Yeah, on a clear day. On a clear day. That's right. On a clear day. Thank you. And Reverend Paul, anybody who can connect First Kings with Jiminy Cricket, thumbs thumbs up. And I want to thank all of you for, I mean, last week, my formal installation as the minister, that was the best installation, that was the bestest I've, been to. So thank you so much. I thought Ken Daigle did an incredible job. Minister of Unity of San Francisco, but also the chair of the board of Unity Worldwide Headquarters. Given the turmoil and all that we've gone through, I think we are so blessed to have, Reverend Ken there. And he spoke about his new book, which is coming out in 2026, Unapologetic Manifestation. Unapologetic Manifestation. He sent me more information. He's done 10 videos, and you can use these videos to teach classes on it. I think it's something we should really pursue, and I'm looking forward to to doing that in 2026, and also have Ken come on. If we can get him to come back, would love to have him come back. The other thing which was really interesting last week, we announced or talked about the passing of Reverend Phil Pearson, and several of you came up to me, and I don't think there was any coordination, but several of you in essence said, never been to Unity Village before. Don't they have a rose garden and people can spread ashes on? I said, yes, they do. And my late wife, Debbie, some of her ashes were spread on the rose garden at Unity. Well, couldn't we do this for Reverend Phil? And I said, well, I'm working with Marty in terms of how we're going to celebrate Phil's life and all that. I've offered to do it, do it Spiritual Life Center. I haven't heard back whether they would or will or not. If it is, it will be after the holiday season. But that might be something, interesting to do, to have a caravan or travel, whatever, going to Unity Village and to spread some of Phil's ashes on the incredible rose garden in Unity Village. And it brings up, in my mind, this time of year is so beautiful at Unity. Well, any time of year is beautiful at Unity Village. I remember when the call to ministry came, and I finally heeded the call. And I was an economist, and going into the ministry made no rational economic sense whatsoever. And thinking, oh my God, where are we going to live, and how are we going to pay the rent, and this, that, and the other. So we're out for admissions week, and Debbie's looking around at the houses. These are really beautiful, and they are beautiful, on the grounds and all that. She says, well, why don't we rent one? And I said, these houses are for grand shamokas. I'm not a grand shamoka, first-year student. She turned to me and says, where's your Unity principles, prosperity, abundance? You fill out the darn form and send it in to them. Now, when Debbie was alive, I always got the last word in, so I turned to her and said, yes, dear, and proceeded to fill out the form, and I'm typing and thinking, this is a waste of time. A month later, I get back, dear Dr. Belous, we have the house, 3 bedrooms, this, that. It's on an acre of land, and you couldn't tell where our acre stopped, and it was incredibly beautiful. And the rent, oh my God, you hadn't seen such low rents since Howard Cosell was getting his toupee pulled off by Muhammad Ali. One of the things, we would have been neighbors with Charles Fillmore would have been our neighbor. He lived, after Myrtle died, he remarried, married Cora, and this was the house he lived in, where a lot of his books actually were formed and read. One of my, and Unity Village, there are lakes and nature trails and all, it's just really beautiful. But where the buildings are, they've designed it to look like it was an Italian Renaissance village. It looks like Florence or Venice. And one of the things you oftentimes see is the clock tower. And it's really a water tower. That's what it is. It's the water, but you wouldn't know it. The way it was built, it looks like, again, something out of Venice. And it was, the ground was broken during the Great Depression. So here it is, the Great Depression, and they're breaking ground to build this tower and all that. And this is one of my all-time favorite Myrtle Fillmore stories. One of the trustees comes up to Myrtle and says, oh, Myrtle, I just hope we don't run out of money. And Myrtle turned to him and said, oh, I'm not concerned about us running out of money. I'm just concerned that we not run out of faith. And they didn't. Obviously, Great Depression, you had to stretch out the building, and then came World War II, and as we became the arsenal for democracy and freedom in the world, the building, the steel went into tanks and stuff like that, and not into buildings. But eventually, after the end of World War II, Unity Village was, it's never been completed because they keep on adding, but it really truly was truly opened. I also remember this time of year, I was a second-year student, and it's a 3-year, in those days it was a 3-year program, and second-year students were literally to be seen and not heard. And I was asked to speak at a Wednesday service, and I was told, this is a great honor and all that. And it was in the Fillmore Chapel. The Fillmore Chapel is in the education building. It's the only chapel that both Charles and Myrtle had spoken from and all that. Great honor. I spoke about, said, Unity started out as an educational ministry, and the last thing in the world the Fillmores wanted to found was another denomination. They thought we needed another denomination like a hole in the head. So they did their services at like 4 p.m. And the deal was this: if you're a Methodist, you go to your Methodist church. If you're a Presbyterian, you go to your Presbyterian church. Catholic, go to your Mass. And then at 4, you come and see the Fillmores. And then you go back to your Methodist church, you go back to your Presbyterian church, you go back to your Catholic church, and you try to inject these things into the communities you're going to. And so I finished it, and then this elderly gentleman came walking. And believe me, lately I have much more sympathy for Canes and everything else like that these days. But he came up, and somebody pointed out and said he was a good friend of Charles Fillmore and all that. And he comes up and he looks at me and he says, young feller, that was a good talk, but you made a mistake. And I thought, well, first he called me young feller, and I don't. Recently, I was bought a bottle of wine, and they carded me, and I thought, wow, card. Guy behind me says they card everybody, so don't get carried away with this. So, but young fella, you made a mistake. You said that Unity started out as an educational ministry. It did not. It started out as a prayer ministry, and prayer was always the central part of Unity. And so, I went to truthunity.net, and I went to the archives, and you know what? He was absolutely right. Started out, and again, Myrtle didn't have to proselytize. Everybody knew she was sickly and about to die, and here she is now brimming with health, vitality, and all that. People are coming to her asking her, what happened? How did you do it? And she's taking them into their parlor, and she's talking to them about prayer and how you do these things. And many of them are getting better. Whatever it was that they had, they're recovering. This is the start of silent unity. So Charles, being a practical man of business and science, he's looking at this, and he can't deny what he's seeing. I mean, his wife was on death's door, and here she is, and so finally Charles said, I'm going, literally his words, I'm going to headquarters. I want to see if there's anything to it. And that's when he started his practice of meditation, of going into the silence. And it's interesting, their granddaughter thought that going into the silence was just something grandparents do. And she discovered that one, her grandparents were kind of unusual, about going into the silence. And it was from that Charles felt, oh my goodness, there really is something to this. Out of that, Charles and Myrtle founded a compact. They wanted to teach these principles. Out of that came the Unity movement, and so realizing that prayer, at a profound level, that prayer is at this heart and center of what Unity, and again also what New Thought is all about. I said, you know what? I want to up my game in this. I really want to learn more about this. So I was in the Unity bookstore, and there's this book called The Handbook of Positive Prayer by Reverend Hypatia Hasbrouck. Never met her, but I bought the book. Oh my goodness! And by the way, I'm something else. I'm a little jealous. When it was talked about last week that we're going to start this series based on several books by Reverend Hasbrouck, several of you came up to me, and even some more people came up to me after the first service today and said, oh, yeah. When Phil Pearson was down at Christ Unity, he had Hypatia Hasbrouck come and speak, and she was absolute dynamite. So in reading this Handbook of Positive Prayer, one of the things which she really stressed, that the early Unity pioneers really honestly believed in affirmative prayer and the power of affirmative prayer. And at that point, and I think I'm not trying to point fingers, but there are a lot of people who are in unity for a long time, and and this was me, you have a kind of sort of relationship with affirmative prayer. The problem with a kind of sort of relationship is it produces kind of sort of results. And she really turned my head around about the importance of affirmative prayer. So where does Jesus preach about affirmative prayer? All throughout the Gospels. But I'm going to take just one example. The reason I'm doing this is because Mark Twain said nobody was ever saved by a sermon which went over 20 minutes. So I'll stick with one example, and it's from Mark. It's from Mark. Probably Mark is we believe very strongly is probably the oldest of the four Gospels. Probably written either in the year 70 or around then, or even probably in the year 60 or whatever. And in the 11th chapter, Jesus says, when you pray, believe that you have received and you will receive. When you pray, believe that you have received and you will receive. Now, Emmett Fox, that great New Thought teacher, said that to say thank you after you receive the gift, that's proper etiquette. But to say thank you before you receive the gift, that is faith. That is faith. And Reverend Hasbrook stresses the importance to see it, to be in the flow with it, to be in the presence of it, to feel that you are worthy of it, and that this thing can happen for you. The Apostle James, I think, hits the nail on the head when he says, you have not because you believe not. You have not because you ask not. I have seen, and I think it was so true for me for a long time, what I call a cancel machine. So you say whatever it is, your your affirmation and all that, and yet there's a cancel machine going through. Yeah, well, to quote those spiritual teachers, the Rolling Stones, am I bright enough? Am I strong enough? Am I man enough? I'm not too blind to see. Yeah, I'm your beast of burden. That cancel machine, it's very interesting. In a lot of studies of neuroscience now, it's called the default mode network within your mental system. The analogy I would make, you're driving down the road, take your hands for a minute off the steering wheel. What does the car do? Does it go straight? Well, a lot of times when I take my hand off, the cars I've had over the years, it starts to either go to the right or to the... It's like when you're sitting and you're just not doing anything, where does your mind start to... Have you ever had the experience of something inside of you says, I'm so frightened? And then, well, what am I so frightened about? And because you're probably neurotic and not psychotic, you do come up with something to justify. But if you take away that justification, you just manufacture another thing which you're going to be, I'm so frightened, sort of that default mode. And what is interesting, if you look at, latest studies in neuroscience, neuroplasticity, that you do have the ability to reprogram. You honestly do. And you look at the lists of these studies of what are, the top 3 things which are most effective in reprogramming. Interestingly enough, you find that prayer and meditation are either number 1, number 2, or number 3 on almost all of the lists in terms of reprogramming. And it's interesting. If you look at, and again, with this fall, I stuck my leg in a normal MRI machine, but there's something called an fMRI machine. I see Dr. McCrimmon's over there. He'll probably be much better after the service at explaining you the difference between fMRI and an MRI, but I would say fancy MRI machine. They bill you. They bill both. They bill you twice the amount that you could have anyway. I love it. One of the I think Groucho was playing a doctor, and Margaret Dumont, asks him, "Was this serious?" And he says, "Oh," he takes a cigar and he says, "Oh yeah, it's going to cost you plenty," But you literally with fMRI machines can see the difference between people who are serious prayer and meditators. You can honestly you can see the difference in the patterns, and you take the hands off of that steering wheel, and you do not see that drift. And it also explains an awful lot about addictions. I mean, because as you're drifting into this cancel negativity. I mean, the addiction, whatever it is, it cuts it. It cuts it, so but it produces more problems than you started out with, and so the importance of daily prayer and meditation is that it really mucks out the garden. It mucks out the stable and weeds the garden on a daily basis. And it really takes that cancel machine and you pull the plug on it. So when you are making these affirmations, when you pray, believe that you have received and you will receive, you really honestly start to feel, I am one with the one. I am a child of God. Marianne Williamson, I think, hit the nail on the head. Your playing small is doing no good, is not really doing any good. And so I really was with Hypatia that I really felt that importance, and I could see why the early Unity pioneers put so much credence into affirmative prayer. I recently, and you'll meet my middle daughter, Rachel. She's going to come down from the University of Massachusetts for Christmas break and all that, but she's been going out with boyfriend for 2 months, and Dad, boyfriend wants me to go meet his parents, and then this week, so I said, well, does boyfriend have a name? Well, yes, Steven's. And what if Stephen's parents don't like me, and they're engineers, and I don't know anything about engineering? Oh my God! I said, Rachel, if you're not going in with a positive attitude, and realizing, you have so much to offer, and they're probably going to be so delighted their son is seeing somebody like you and all that. And, well, what will I talk to them? I said, ask them questions about civil engineering. They're civil engineers. Ask them questions about civil. They're in the Boston area. I said, ask them if they had anything to do with the Boston Tunnel or what they think about the Boston Tunnel. That's easily a 2-weekend thing. You're going to get invited back so they can finish telling you about the Boston. So anyway, and so. All right, I'll give it a. So I, just exchanged text messages with her before coming over. How's it going? Oh, it's going really well. They like me, I think. So, anyway, so more reports on that. But there are 2 things which I would strongly also suggest with affirmative prayer. One, when you really check out what you are praying for. Check it out with Scripture. And again, we are interfaith. The Scriptures of the world, also have a trusted spiritual advisor where you can start really, this is what I really feel, do you honestly really feel this is something Spirit really wants you to have? And if you do, then go for it with gusto. The other thing which I would strongly also suggest, this or something better. When you say this or something better, and we heard Ken Daigle was they wanted to adopt a child, and they had a child for I think a week or so, and then the birth mom and that would look like it was a total loss. And then what happened? They got a call from a lady who said, my husband and I, we've been following you, and we'll have a child for you, and we experienced something very similar in the adoption of Teresa's adopted, as I've shared here. Before Teresa, we had a little boy in Columbus, Ohio. Daniel, we had him for 1 week. And then under Ohio law, you have 2 weeks to change your mind. The birth mom changed her mind after the first week. It felt like crib death, having the child taken away. But we recentered. And along as we came back to Unity Village, we received a call from, and it wasn't a question that they were going to just have sex, make the baby. Teresa was already in the oven, as it were. But they said, we've read about you and we're attracted to your spirituality and the fact that you have an older, Rachel, so Therese would have an older sister and all that. Come to Macon, Georgia. We want to meet you and all that. And the next thing you know, we wound up with our wonderful Therese. And so, again, this or something better. And if it is not this, it is because something better is going to happen. When I get to, when we realized it was time to leave Lynchburg, Virginia, we thought we were going to go. We honestly thought we were going to go to the Unity Church of the Hills in Austin, we have relatives in Austin and everything. We thought it was Austin. But then came the tryout weekend here, this or something better. And we realized that Spirit had something better for us called SLC. So be open to that, this or something better. So anyway, Reverend Hypatia, she directed Unity Ministerial Education. She was a leader in California in the Unity movement. She was the Minister of Unity of San Diego for a good number of years. And so in the 1960s, she made her first visit to the Holy Land. So she's in Jerusalem. She wants to go to Bethlehem. Bethlehem is 6 miles away. I mean, how long can go 6 miles? Well, if you're in the middle of the Arab-Israeli wars and everything and checkpoints, it took her almost 2 days to go from Jerusalem to Bethlehem. And she looked at it and she said, there really is here like a metaphysical metaphor, that this journey to Jerusalem, from Jerusalem to Bethlehem, to our Bethlehem. And remember, Bethlehem's in Hebrew is house of bread, house of bread. Remember Jesus at the well with the Samaritan woman. Drink this living water and you will no longer be thirsty. Eat this bread and you will be filled. And so she started to think of this as, we all have that star leading us to our Bethlehem. And that may take many different forms. It may be pottery classes. It may be you wanted to go back playing the piano. It may be changing jobs. It may be changing other relationships or something like that, or following your deepest passion. And she felt that you could look at this, both the star and also going to Bethlehem, this trip to Bethlehem, literally as this journey to that living bread and that living water. The other thing which she also, because a lot of times when we think about, the story of Advent and all that, we think, well, it started with Mary and the angel Gabriel telling, guess what, you're pregnant and you're going to have, this child and all that. Well, Reverend Hasbrook said, it probably didn't start with Mary. It probably started with the Magi, with the wise men. Why? Because they realized, they saw this star, this flicker, and they started to follow it. I love the saying, the bumper sticker. It's a bumper sticker, but who cares? Wise men and wise women still follow him. And it reminds me of the story of this guy. He's in a bazaar. He's in a Middle Eastern bazaar. And he's in one merchant's tent, and he sees this vase, and it says, "A pound of wise women wisdom, 20 drachma." He then sees a pound of wise men wisdom, 2,000 drachma. He goes to the merchant, and he said, "This is unfair, 20 for woman, 2,000 for men?" And the merchant said, "It's absolutely fair. Do you know how many men I have to deal with before I get a pound of wisdom?" So Reverend Hasselbrook, again, the 12 powers really centers on that power of wisdom and on that sense of John Denver that it's in every one of us to be wise. When we center, when we pray, when we have that daily practice of discipline, of prayer and meditation, we honestly, truly do see that it may start out first as a flickering star, but we know that this is something we really honestly should be following. It can come in archetypes. It can come in images of dreams. But to start to take this stuff seriously, that it really honestly is telling you of a longing of where you should be. The whole thing of ministry, as I say, first started out really as a flicker, as a distant star. But then I felt really honestly, truly, and I don't care whether it makes rational economic sense or not, this is something which I should be following. And then what Reverend Hasbrook says is you have to move your feet. Get your internal camels moving. Get your, which way is the star going? Get on those your internal camel and get it moving and as it were, following. The other thing which she points out, which I think is so true, is that on this journey following the star to your Jerusalem, is that you are probably going to meet some unpleasant people and some very difficult situations. This trip is not going to be the good ship lollipop. In terms of the wise men, they had to deal with Herod. The most self-centered narcissist, well, at least the most centered, selfish narcissist you could find in ancient history. And two-faced. Oh, tell me where you're going to. Once you worshipped him, come back and tell me. They then had dreams and said, the last thing in the world you do is you tell this stinker, where it is. You go home another way. You go home another way, and that it is in every one of us to be wise and to know where that star is and to follow that star. A story came to me recently, which I think so nails this down. And it's, where did you find this star? It's about a woman by the name of Carmen Bennett, and it's in the Daily Word. I know a lot of us read the Daily Word for the word of the day or whatever. Believe it or not, there's stories in here every month, and a lot of those stories are really powerful. Carmen Bennett lives in Columbia, Missouri. I've searched my mind because when I was a student, a lot of times I was asked to lead services at Unity in Columbia, Missouri. Maybe I met her, but I don't remember her. Carmen Bennett, it doesn't say that she was a licensed clinical social worker, but I believe she probably was something like that. It was something where she had to be registered with an agency and all that. It's late one night, she gets a call from her boss. And her boss says, we need to talk. Remember that intern you were managing and all? Well, that intern has made some really serious charges about you, and we need to talk. So they go in, and the boss listens to both sides and all that. The boss concludes that probably Carmen is right, and that these charges are not right. So it's dismissed. Carmen then goes out and she starts taking a class at Unity Village, but it wasn't taught by Unity, but it was rented, the space there and everything. And one night she gets home, she opens the mail, and it turns out that the intern had filed a charge against her with the local board, and there was now going to be an investigation by the local board. Ugh. And this investigation goes on and on and on. The class which she's taking at Unity Village, they turn to her and they say, how's the investigation going? They said, well, it's still going. I don't know when it's going to end or whatever. They said to her, well, it's too bad. We can't let you advance with the next, your cohort. We're going to have to put you on hold until the investigation is finalized. Ugh. She then thinks, no, I'm going to follow my star. I'm going to follow, this is her Herod. I'm going to follow my star. She finds another program which she enters into, which quite frankly is more to her liking because it has a spiritual component to it and an entrepreneurial component. It's teaching her how to set up her own business also. And so she graduates from this and she starts, why am I working for an agency? I can set up my own business. The charges, the investigation eventually she is cleared, but she has already made the decision. She has founded in Columbia, Missouri, something called the Golden Hour of Guidance. It gives professional counseling, spiritual coaching, and also intuitive healing. And she writes, I saw the experience as redirection, not as a block. I was willing to take the detour because I trusted spirit within was leading me. My spiritual mentor, Reverend Robert Brummett, and many of us in Unity look at Robert Brummett as sort of being the Yoda of the Unity movement. Reverend Robert said, we really start to experience spiritual healing when we look at the blocks out there, not as blockage, but as stepping stones. And when we start to ask, what is before us and how can it truly be for us? When that happens, then you start to get to your Bethlehem. You start to get to your Bethlehem and you can start to really see it materialize. So I would suggest a few key things from all of this. I think they stand out. First, initially, our star it's going to seem like a distant star, a flicker over you, that dream of what could be, or what you truly, truly are longing for. And second, use that power of affirmative prayer. Use that power of affirmative prayer and do all you can to dismantle that cancel machine. It's just, I wish we could get ourselves to treat us, a lot of times our self-talk as well as our GPS treats us. I mean, I'm serious about it. When I first came to Sacramento for my trial weekend, I can't tell you, it was on 99, I missed that turn 4 or 5 times. My GPS didn't say to me, you stupid idiot. It gently reprogrammed the route and we got there. So I think, if we could start to treat ourselves as decently as our GPS system treats us, I think that for many of us, at least me, it would be progress. Second or third, remember that we are going to probably on this trip are going to have to deal with Herods. It's not going to be the good ship lollipop, but that that greater is in us than is in the world. And fourth, use that power of wisdom and discernment and believe in what John Denver sang. It's in every one of us to be wise. Friends, your Bethlehem is here for you. Your star will lead you there. I think so often we think, the big question is, do you believe in God? I think there's a more important question because it's very possible to believe in God, but do you really believe that God believes in you? It is possible to believe in God, but not to believe that God believes in you. Does God believe in you? I think the answer to that question is remarkably clear. Yes. Oh, yes. A zillion times yes. And that is why you should follow your star to your Bethlehem. Thank you, and God bless.
Thought I'd just come up here and sit for a little bit and thank Reverend Rick for timely talk, Thank you. Very good. Okay. It's, there's a slide somewhere, it's okay. If you're watching us online, it's time to, my bad. It's next week. Okay, next week we have more Sunday, right? A service, a couple of services. Rick will be giving the sermon, the talk, the presentation, the trip to Bethlehem, following the star. It's coming up. Oh, my bad. Glimpsing the Christ. It's the next one in the series. I'll straighten up and fly right, okay? Newcomers. Little jazz for us. If you're watching us online, you can go to slcworld.org. Click on the connect button and fill out the card. This will let us know that you are watching us and we can also keep you up on the happenings at Spiritual Life Center. Okay, newcomers and more. For those of you who are here today in person, in a moment, we will ask you to raise your hand. Should be a few. We will give you a welcome card to fill out, and you can take it to the welcome table in the courtyard to receive a warm welcome and a special gift. Did you want to show the...
Yeah, the greetings and welcome team is going to be handing out to newcomers this wonderful necklace, shell necklace. And again, come to the hub table because we do have something which we want to give you as appreciation for you being here. And if you are online, please fill out that form. Go click like, subscribe, because we do honestly do. There's something going on here almost every day, and which can really truly help you with your spiritual walk.
Yes, that chalet is very special. I used to have it on my altar. I don't know what I did with it, but it's special. So if you are here for the very first time, please raise your hand.
I have one here, over here.
3. Welcome. All right, good to see you all. Welcome to Spiritual Life Center. And
We also have one more over here, down front.
hay dos.
2.
Two. Did I say? In Japanese, ni. Ni. All right. Welcome. All right. It's time for our offering. This is your opportunity to help support Spiritual Life Center. There's several ways to do this. One way is you can text SLC LOVE to 44321 or go to the website and click the donate button. You can also mail in your love offering. If you are online and want to spread this consciousness, click like, comment, share, or subscribe. Now it's time for if you're present, it's time for our blessing. Hold your blessing in the way that's comfortable for you. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. So it is.
Hold up, don't leave me. Hey, y'all remember this old school song? This old school right here. Precious Lord, take my hand and lead me on, let me stand. I am tired and I am challenged. I am worn.
Dear Spirit, thank you for the prayers in our prayer box and prayers on people's hearts. Help them to know that they truly are one with the one, and that they have the power, the zeal, the love, and the wisdom to overcome the challenges that they are facing. Thank you for the investments that are made in this ministry in terms of time, treasure, and talent. Without these investments, this ministry would fall in a heartbeat. Thank you, dear Lord. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And we're going to say that wonderful prayer for protection, sing the peace song, then wonderful postlude, Silver Bells, one of my favorite, and then join us for fellowship out in the courtyard. So let's say that prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And now that wonderful peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let this be the moment. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment